Hello, Brother G. I am presenting by myself. Natalie wasn't ready, so I'm going to do my part of anything that I can do for the requirements. And what I am showing right now is my program control. And so I have it called program control. Obviously, it is to create the player name. So this was talked about to create the player name. So if it's an invalid entry, it will return null. And then if it is valid, it'll create a new player, as said here, and set to P, and then it will return P. So there's that one. Then when I go to my item controls, this first one to calculate the tent size, it's just like the volume of, let's make this bigger, a volume calculation. And so the name is item control. The calculation is called calc tent size. We're going to get the numbers length, height, and width. If the height is less than 0 or the width or the length are all less than 0, then it will return a -1 or an invalid entry. And then if they are greater than 0, we will multiply the length, height, and width to get that calculation, and then we will return that total, the total molt, and divide it by 3 to get the area for the tent. So there's that first calculation. And it's also kind of an if, well, it's an if statement. I guess there's no true else in there labeled as else, but it's pretty much saying if we get more for height, width, and length than 0, then we'll get this. If not, then we'll just return this, but there's not technically an else labeled in the statement. And then the second one, oh, and then I was going to talk about lifespan in here. So the total molt, this is the total molt's lifespan. It ends here. It starts and ends within this section of the code. And the scope, which I remember talking to you about, and I'm still trying to get a better grasp on it. The scope would be this in this specific code. And really, I'm going to have to clarify that with you again. I remember going through it and thinking through it. But I guess height, width, and length could all be a specific scope because specific to this calculation. But the lifespan of length and width will be longer as it will apply to the tent control code and other things like that, because the calc tent size will all be shifted over into those codes, into those classes. So there's kind of what I'm understanding as of right now, but might need some clarifying if I'm wrong. Then for the calc tents needed, or what is needed in the tent, is how I'm going to try to remember it. We talk about the items that we already have, which is inventory item amount, the items that we've gained throughout the day or the turn or whatever it might be, and then how much we need, the daily amount required. So this is saying if the inventory item amount is greater than or equal to 50, or the item gained plus the inventory item amount is greater or equal than 50, then return -1, because it'll be too much inventory to carry. And then I should also add in there, if it's less than a certain amount, we won't be able to continue. So I guess I need an extra if in here to also return -1. But it wouldn't be if we didn't have enough after the gained So the inventory item amount plus the gained amount. If it was less than 25, say, then we wouldn't have enough to continue on. And it would require you to gain more. Then to find the amount required, oh no, that's what I did. So to find the amount required, whether you're set at 50, then you're totally fine, but it will continue on if you get a -1 back, that we will need to get at least 50. And then you take the inventory item amount, so the stuff we already have, the inventory amount already that we have, and the stuff that we gained, and we add them together, and we need 50. If the needed amount, we take what we have required minus this calculation, so what we have. So required minus what we have, and then we'll return the amount needed to the player. So there's that one. And I think that's pretty much all I have for you. So I might need some talking through, but hopefully that will be okay for right now. Have a great day and a great weekend. We'll talk to you later. Bye.